Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Stylosa. So we've got all of the patch notes here for season 4.5, but first I've got to go back to Overwatch. Alright guys, welcome to the channel. So what we're going to do is firstly take a look at Daredevil. So the more I look at this, the more I realise this is just Genji. Like, watch this. So he's got a deflect ability and he seems to have a dash that resets on elimination. Like, watch this. Look, he's got wall climb as well. So yeah, he's gonna watch this. As you see it here. So this is the sort of the deflect, yeah, against Squirrel Girl, and I'm pretty sure his dash is resetting. His ultimate though isn't Dragon Blade. It would be funny if he got like a massive nunchuck and he ran around smashing people with it. No, he doesn't. But you can see there, he had the reset. I'm pretty sure. He looks pretty good. And I will say, though, no one really does the melee characters like Rivals does. I think they do have quite a bit of variety, to be fair. There's only so much you can do with melee characters, I guess. But Daredevil looks pretty good. And I'm not really the biggest one for straight-up melee DPS heroes. But to be honest, I am looking forward to checking him out. But it just made me laugh. He just straight up looked like Genji. Okay, let's move on to the balance updates because we've got changes to strategists, we've got nerfs, we've got buffs, all of that good stuff. And we've got changes, obviously, to duelists and to vanguards, and we've got some team-up information as well. So we're going to begin with Ultron. So this is the Ultron details. So Ultron gets nerfed, and it probably makes sense because he is quite strong. So this is what they're doing. The dials on Ultron's healing and ultimate ability uptime are being slightly turned back. Reduce imperative patch healing amount from 35 to 30 and healing bonus to the followed ally from 10 to 5, and increase the energy cost of Rage of Ultron, which is the ultimate ability, from 3,400 to 3,700. Next up is Rocket, and Rocket actually gets a buff to his ultimate here. So they've increased the damage boost granted by Sia, which is the ultimate ability, from 25 to 40%. Now that's quite a big increase there on damage buff. So I guess you can probably use this a little bit more offensively now. But again, it's just a buff to Rocket. He probably needed it because I think he was falling a little bit away in the meta, although you guys can correct me if I'm wrong on that one. Jeff gets nerfed. So Jeff's survivability, it's been decided that it's way too much. So what they're going to do to Jeff is this. Our beloved Jeff's survivability takes a hit. Reduce the crit damage reduction from the Oblivious Cuteness passive to 70%. From 70, sorry, to 50%. So a bit of a reduction there. And remember, this is only when he takes crit damage you get this reduction. But still, that's a pretty big drop down from 70 to 50%. So Jeff, he's going to die quite a little bit easy. Because I always find it quite easy to hit Jeff in the crit spot because his head is massive. Cloak and Dagger get a little bit of a nerf, although I don't think this is too much, to be honest, because it's just to the ultimate charge. So, Tai and Tandy's ultimate ability now takes a bit more energy to unleash their Eternal Bond, increasing the energy cost of Eternal Bond from 4,300 to 4,500. So let's move on to the duelist. Let's take a look at Psylocke. So what they're doing here is kind of buffing the ultimate. So, ultimate ability now is slightly more float and more sting. Reduce self-slow rate during Dance of the Butterfly, which is the ultimate, from 30% to 15%. Increase each strike's damage from 150 to 170, and that is the big takeaway here. That is massive damage. Now, her ultimate is okay as is, but it can be negated by a lot of defensive strategist ultimates. This now is going to allow you to apply pressure, say through a Mantis ulti, maybe even through like an Invis Woman ulti. There's a lot of things you can do with this, so Psylocke is going to get quite a bit more deadly actually with the ultimate here. So yeah, if you're a Psylocke main, let me know what you think about this in the comments below, because I actually think Psylocke is okay. I'm not really sure why they're buffing the ultimate here. In fact, the ultimate is kind of like the weakest part of her kit. She does that much damage anyway, but I don't know. Hela gets a bit of a survivability buff, and what they're doing here is reducing Astral Flock's startup cast time. After casting, Hela gains 25%. Sorry, 25, not percent. That was percent. It would be crazy, but just gains 25 bonus health. So you've got a reduction on the startup cast time, and then after you cast, you get 25 bonus health. So when she's using the movement ability, it basically is quicker to trigger, I assume, and then yeah, you get 25 bonus health. So you should be able to survive, or at least it'll give your strategist a bit more time to heal you if you need a heal, or maybe you can make it to, I don't know, pick up a heal item or whatever. Next up is Phoenix. Now, Phoenix is one of the best DPS in the game. I think everybody would agree that. But what they're doing is this. So Jean Grey's burst potential has been toned down. Melee attacks no longer stack sparks, and that's a big one because obviously if you could stack sparks onto targets by melee attacking them, it was then increasing your damage because when you triggered sparks, yeah, this was just a lot of damage. So I think that makes sense. But the primary weapon ammo no longer replenishes during Dark Ascent, and they've added 1 second of cooldown to Dark Ascent. So I think this is them going down the path here of starting to like tune back Phoenix, because like I said, Phoenix is quite strong, so this is probably a needed nerf. Is it enough? I don't know. It doesn't really feel like much. It feels like a bit of a slap on the wrist. So moving on to the Vanguards, Mr. Fantastic, no, obviously not. We're still in the Duelist, but this guy is literally a Vanguard. Like, what is going on? So Reed Richards gains a bit more crowd control over mobile heroes, because of course this is what Duelist needs, isn't it? So after successfully pulling an enemy with distended grip, the target is now affected with a 1 second immobilized effect. So if he grabs you, he's going to stun you for 1 second, and that's not going to be good for you, because if the rest of the team jump on you, they'll probably kill you. So it's always been a weird one to me, Mr. Fantastic. He is literally a tank. He's a Vanguard. I don't know why he's in the Duelist role, but whatever. I don't know whether this is going to make him much stronger. I don't know. I still don't think he's that good, but I don't know. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe he is. I don't think he is, though. Iron Fist gets a bit of a buff here to, well, basically attacking tanks and high health targets. So they've lowered the fixed damage of Yat Ji Chung Quen from 9 to 8, but increased the percentage damage of the enemy's max health per strike from 2.7 to 3.1%. So he's going to do more damage to targets that have got more health, which means that he's going to be a bit more viable going in against, like, I don't know, Vanguard targets and stuff. Whether your Iron Fist should be fighting Vanguards, I don't know. Probably not. Although I've seen him played in loads of different ways, so maybe it does work. This could be a bit of a sleeper buff here. This actually could be quite a big one, because if he's going to be able to like really pour damage into targets with a ton of health, that's going to be quite strong. I mean, again, it's only 2.7 to 3.1% of the max health increase of the damage, but it's still quite a bit, though, I think, when you add that up. Human Torch gets nerfed. Now, again, Human Torch is very much like Phoenix. It's like the heroes that are on fire are literally on fire in the game, because they're basically the best DPS in the game, or some of the best heroes. Human Torch is still really strong, and they're still nerfing him, and it's like they ain't managed to actually bring him under control just yet. So this is what they're doing. Johnny sees a slight reduction in damage and mobility. Reduce fire cluster hit damage per projectile from 5.5 to 5. New fire cluster now has a 0.5 second delay before ammo begins to replenish. During Plasma Body, reduce movement speed from 900 to 850. So I've played quite a bit of Human Torch, and I think this is needed. He probably needs nerfing even more, because it is quite easy to get a ton of value with him. But that being said, if you do come up against counters and people are playing like Hela really strong into you, and other heroes that counter you, you can just get wiped out. Even like Spider-Man can be quite good against you, although you probably shouldn't get killed by him. But, you know, I think he needs a bit more of a nerf, to be fair. Blade gets a buff. Now, Blade has been chronically underpowered since his launch. He did get a buff in Season 4. Obviously, in Season 4.5, they're going to buff him even more, and this is what they're doing. So, the Daywalker gets a slight boost to his offensive prowess. Increase Daywalker dash secondary's attack range from 4.5 meter to 6.5 meter, and increase the duration of each slash speed attack gained during Bloodline Awakening from 0.7 seconds to 1. New effect. Landing all 4 hits of Whirlwind Slash grants 1 slash speed stack. So this is, I think what they're doing to Blade is making him into like, he's going to attack really fast when he's got all these effects triggering. And then when that new effect kicks in, if he lands all 4 hits of Whirlwind Slash, he grants another slash speed stack. He's just going to be insanely, and I mean insanely, powerful. Alright then, let's move on to the Vanguard. So first up, we're going to take a look at Venom. And Venom's ultimate ability becomes even more menacing for his foes, so he's getting an ultimate buff here. Feast of the Abyss now applies a 30% healing reduction to enemies hit, lasting for 4 seconds. A massive buff really to his ultimate. This means anyone caught in this now is basically not going to be able to get healed, because a 30% reduction is massive, and 4 seconds is also quite a long time. So Venom, this is going to be really strong. If you're a Venom main, let me know what you think about this, but I'm pretty sure this is, again, one of these big buffs in this Season 4.5 patch. It's going to make him really strong. So talking of new heroes that are generally underpowered, which seems to be the case recently, Angela, well, she's not been very strong at all. I thought she'd be really strong, but I think she is on certain maps. If she can get the environmental kills, she can do a lot of damage, but when there isn't really any environmental kills to get, you may as well just play any other Vanguard. It's like, ugh. Anyway, this is what they're doing. So the Hand of Heaven receives a slight boost to a sustained fighting power. After activating Divine Judgment, increase axes of Icors, Angela's bonus health and 30 from 30 per enemy hit, to 40, and allies from 15 to 20. So again, they're increasing the survivability here, giving them more health. Yeah, well, more, I guess, a stronger way of generating health, giving a bit more health to her allies. So it's okay. Is it going to be enough? I don't know. I still think she's going to be a bit of a niche pick. But the thing is, with Rivals, heroes added to the game so fast. I mean, Daredevil is going to be added, like, imminently. It's almost... Can I say this? But it's almost like it doesn't matter if they've got a crap hero in the game, because there'll be another hero in a few weeks. And it's like that hero can just sit... Well, I'm not saying she's crap, but she can fit into, like, a little niche, which is, like, you know, knocking people off ledges. So, yeah... Right then, let's move on to the team-up abilities. So, firstly, let's take a look at Ragnarok Rebirth. This is Hela and Thor, and this has been removed, so it's no longer in the game. So next up is Arcane Order, Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, and Magic. We've slightly reduced Magic's threat level on her side of this team-up. Increase the cooldown of Chain of Cyttorak from 15 seconds to 20 seconds, and slow effect at maximum range from 60 to 40. Gamma Charge. Now, this is one I think a lot of people are going to be happy with. So, Hulk and Namor and Black Panther. Namor loses the Gamma Monstro ability previously gained from his team up with Hulk. So, no more radioactive squids firing green lasers instantly killing you. Deep Wrath. Now, this is a new one. It's Hela and Namor. So, Namor now gains Tidal Dirge ability through his team up with Hela. So, remember, he loses the Hulk team up, but he gains this one. Bestial Hunt. Now, this is brand new because this is Daredevil added to the game, and it's Daredevil and Punisher. So, as the team-up anchor, Daredevil gains a maximum health increase of 25 and a 5% boost in damage output. However, Punisher unlocks a new Justice Sense ability through his team-up with Daredevil. So, Punisher gets a new ability, and I think based off what I've seen, what that does, I think it's like... You can sort of see through walls and track targets in a certain area, although don't quote me on that. So there you go. Those are the updates coming to Season 4.5 of Rivals. Now, obviously, the main attraction here is Daredevil's going to be the new hero. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of pre-release content about Daredevil, probably towards the end of the week, as we're getting closer to the launch of the season. It's going to be an interesting one to see, because I think he's going to be quite strong. He basically is Genji from Overwatch, but I think he's going to be quite good. Whether he's going to shake up the meta, who knows? But I think some of these other changes are maybe a bit stronger. Like, it's interesting that Iron Fist is getting buffed as well, considering we've got a new melee hero being added to the game. So it's kind of going to be, you're going to use Iron Fist or Daredevil. I don't know. It'll be interesting. Anyway, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below, guys. I've been Stylosa. You can follow me on everything, which is at Stylosa, and I'll catch you on the next one. See you soon.